Welcome to a whiskey review on the Whiskey and Whitetails YouTube channel. My name is Matt.
I am Gus.
Today, we're going to go over the new OKI. The reason we're making this video is because I got a chance to buy this. It just came out, and I bought it while I was in Kentucky, and I haven't seen any reviews for it. I was trying to see with some tastes and palates and see if I was just going to get rid of it or keep it, and I can't find any reviews, so we're gonna do the thing. So what is OKI? It's Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, and there's some catchy saying that goes on with it I can't remember, but it was founded by New Riff in 2014, and basically what they did is they used OKI with MGP, older barrels, to kind of get the brand started. Then once they got the brand started, and their stuff had come to age, they were like, we're done making it. Once the last bottle's sold, it's gone. And that's what happened. Then New Riff is what you know of New Riff today. So they did it for 4 years, which makes sense because they have 4-year-old product with that bottled in bond. The owners of George Remus, Chad and Jake, they sold George Remus to MGP, I believe, if I'm not incorrect. And then so they bought this. How much do they paid for it?
How much do I think they paid for it?
For the brand OKI.
I don't know. $7.
$7.
I don't know. $1 million.
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would assume.
I thought you had an answer.
Yeah, I don't have an answer. I would guess at least, I don't think $1 million, but I'd imagine they paid a pretty penny.
Sure.
Like 50 to 80 grand probably. Just for the name. I don't know.
Just for the name. Oh, okay.
I have no idea. So this is their newest release. I think it's the only one that's come out so far. We've been waiting, like, I think they bought this 2 years ago or something. But yeah, so this is the OKI Reserve, and there's 5 MGP mash bills in this. The low rye, 8 to 10 years old. The high rye, 3 to 8 years old. They have a 95.5, 9 years old. Rye corn whiskey, 9 years old. And then they have a light whiskey, which is 10 years old. And I don't like the name light whiskey because most people think low proof, light. That's not the truth. It's actually the opposite. So light proof is barrel strength, and but it's supposed to be, our favorite word, smooth. It's supposed to be like a good, easy drinking bourbon. That's what they say.
Button for that.
That's what they say.
I like that they put the breakdown in the back of the bottle.
They did. Look at that. Let's get this fresh crack. It's not bad. A little pingy ping. Oh, excuse you. So yeah. We have no idea what this tastes like. Can't find any reviews on it.
So you're welcome.
And so we're just gonna figure it out. We're gonna do it as we go. And this will probably be jump cutted a lot because I'm gonna do a lot of proper tasting and smellings, and
Matt's been practicing his Kentucky Chew.
I saw a lot of people do that this weekend.
I bet you did. That's quite pleasant.
It smells like a high rye. It is quite pleasant.
It does smell like a rye.
So on the news, the ethanol is not that bad. I do get some of those rye flavors that everyone knows and loves.
Yep, there's a little bit of the mustiness or funkiness, the bread top, as you will, if you may.
If you may, I do may.
But then there's those sort of, it's like a sandwich. You have those right at the top. You kind of have those musty notes, and then those sweet floral notes, and then it's all riding on a little like layer of caramel,
like a bed of caramel. Yeah. I could definitely get that. Like in the deep end. That's a great way to say it. Not a sandwich, but a layer cake. It's like an onion.
Ogres. Ogres are like onions.
Yeah.
Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
There you go.
We have layers.
Layered. But it's had a fantastic nose, actually.
Yeah, it really does.
I was really hoping to just trash all over this.
Quite often you're like, looking forward to trashing this, and then you end up liking it.
And then I end up liking it. I mean, you know, good for these guys. But I clearly they know what they're doing. Like Remus was one of my tops last year that we did. That Remus was the George Remus, the whatever Repeal 5 or whatever it was called.
I mean, there's eight different individual whiskeys that are blended to make this,
which is a lot of blending. So I think that you probably start with some, and you're like, let's back that up a little bit. Now it needs this. Now it needs some proof. Now it needs.
Well, and because I mean, the percentages range from 0.2% for one of them up to 26.4%, and anywhere in between.
What's the highest?
26.4 is the highest. There's a couple that are
26.4 is the 36 rye. That's the regular MGP 36 rye. So
I'm gonna taste it.
I'm down. There's a lot of sweetness.
Leather and like those baking spice type notes.
So I get a little bit of leather. I get that tongue bite that I like, that I don't get all the time. It's almost like your body's like, no, don't drink that. But you're like, oh, but it's so good. But on the exhale, crazy flavor.
Yeah.
It's very oaky on the breathe out, which is not very common. Usually when you swallow something, it's gone. This is a very long finish.
Yeah, it sits, at least for me, it's sitting right on the back of my tongue.
So back on the nose, I'm getting apple peel for the fruits. The corn dust is kind of going away some. I almost get that middle smell of watermelon.
Really?
Like the high sweetness part of the watermelon.
Yeah.
Not the watery part or the melon part, but the ERM part. I get the ERM part of watermelon. So there is a decent bit of rice spice to it. I don't get a hug, really. I get a little bit in the throat.
Get it in the throat. Like I said, the back of my tongue, it just wants to kind of sit there.
That breathe out, though, is crazy. That flavor lingers.
Yeah, if you breathe out through your mouth and your nose at the same time, it just does a number on your olfactory system there.
Yeah.
There's a lot
going on in this. Yeah.
I would really like to experiment with pairing this with some cheeses.
I think this would be really good with a Gouda or like a strong blue cheese.
Just
it almost reminds me of that old granddad tasting that we did with the blue cheese. Like the same flavors that we picked out of the OGD that we liked. I have similar.
It's got some of the heat and some of those spicy characteristics that I think would pair really well with like a creamy soft cheese.
Yeah,
it's good. I like it.
Yeah, it drinks a little hotter than you would expect for 100 proof, but
yeah, it definitely does.
It's in no way bad. There's a lot of oak to it, a lot of oak flavor. It's also pretty dark.
I was gonna say it is dark. Worth picking up, I think, if you can find it.
Every time you go back, there's a little bit more fruit to it on the nose.
I'm definitely getting the apple or pear.
I kind of get a little of both now. And that's how tastings work. You put thoughts in each other's.
Well, yeah, a little bit. But then also, as the ethanol starts as it breathes, the flavors and the notes will change. That undertone of the caramel is kind of been replaced with, it's still sweet, but it's more of a like a dark fruit sweet.
I'm getting like a tannin almost out of it. The caramel has kind of gone away on the nose.
I still get something sweet. It's just not as bright as caramel. It's like
marzipan. I don't even know what marzipan smells like. People say that all the time.
Oh man, yeah, definitely a little hot for 100 proof, but enjoyable. I think that lends more to the rye, it being so heavy on the rye, than it is the proof itself.
I think this would be a good bottle if you already have a bunch of bottles and you want to try something new. This is definitely something new. This is a new. I don't think I've ever had anything that tasted like that.
So I like to around 100 proof is where, or a little bit less is where I like to introduce whiskeys to people.
Not
or rye. I would not. This is not one that I would. This is one that I would introduce to somebody who's a fan of higher proof whiskeys and be like, check this out.
Guess the proof.
And then they're like 100 proof,
100 proof.
And take a sip.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I wouldn't buy this if you don't have a good collection. If you drink a lot of whiskey and you're looking for something new to try, definitely give it a shot. It's very good. Drinks a little hot, but it has great bourbon and rye flavors in it, kind of combined. I think they did a great job blending that.
Yeah, I did too.
And they could have been shooting for some spice, to give you a little punch, because there's no.
That's the fun part about blending is
really.
You can say, hey, I want this whiskey to have this, and this, and you play with it until you get it.
Yep. Well, I enjoyed it a lot. That's something it's not something I'm going to leave here. I'm going to take that home, and that'll be. I will share this with people. It's good. It's definitely good. I'm not mad at it at all.
Concur.
But if you don't drink a lot of bourbon, I would. If you were like, what does this taste like? I saw it at the store. It's not for you.
No,
I don't think. I mean,
maybe it is
for everybody. Your taste is your taste. Taste is subjective. Okay. So that was it. Real quick, simple, easy. That's what we think. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks.
If you like short and easy reviews like that, that's typically the only kind that we do. We don't really do a lot of reviews around here because it's just not our thing. But we have full podcasts. We talk about whiskey and whitetails and go a little deep in the woods.
Outside of this, the most in-depth we go with whiskey are if we have whiskey-specific guests on the podcast.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
That's about it. We just, I noticed there weren't any reviews, so I was like, yeah, somebody's going to
be
glad. If you're glad we did it, throw it in the comments. This would be really good in our cocktail smoker kit.
Oh, yeah.
That's a plug.
Our handcrafted cocktail smoker kit, which would make a great Father's Day gift if you have a dad, or if you love your dad. Maybe you don't. You're trying to bridge that gap.
Could be.
Nothing better to bridge the gap than alcohol.
That's it. All right.
Unless it brings back
I'm done.
trauma or something. All right.
All right, I'm done.